This content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill no one.
Wait a second.
Oh, no.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. Septum Sin versus the world. 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 I'd buy that for $1.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry! Whatever it is!
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
But we're here on Septum Sin versus the World, and we're going to show you
With our eggnog. And
what Santa's got.
Yes.
Show me what...
So, you know what? Instead of the normal, let's have some little reindeer cheer. I always love that reindeer laugh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, that one. I love it. Nice.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Nice, for kids.
But as always, we do our annual exchange of gifts. Usually the time before Christmas, and then we start working towards New Year's and the one after.
Mm-hmm.
It's an odd date this year. It's like on a weekend this time.
Yeah.
So, Wednesday is when this usually goes up. Monday is when we usually film it. So, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, we'll have time to
Get
ready.
So we're going to do some pickups, and then we're going to do, after the pickups, we're going to do a little bit of gift giving.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have Jake start us off.
All right. And,
He's got expensive ones this time.
yes, from the Dollar Tree, where they are now expensive. They're $1.25.
Extremely expensive.
Yes. Broke the bank on this pickup.
I don't know if I have any Dollar Tree.
Although, to be honest, that's sadly not that much of a stretch because my finances are rough right now. But anyway, first one up. Last week I presented a film by one of the brothers Whites, specifically by Paul Whites. Bel Canto, I believe it was. The Whites brothers, of course, kind of hit the scene with a splash with their very wonderful but raunchy American Pie movie. Chris Whites, I believe, was the one who was the first to step out solo, and he, I believe, has done more solo films. And one of the first ones he did, which actually came out in the wake of American Pie 2 and before American Wedding, which I have always loved, was the Hugh Grant starring coming-of-age comedy about a boy, where basically Grant plays this, charming, rakish kind of ne'er-do-well who gets saddled with a child. And they have learning experience. It's a fun movie. If I remember correctly, I want to say Rachel Weisz was in there, and Toni Collette, right?
Yeah. It's been a long time.
It's been a while since I've seen it too. Now it spawned a series, which I don't remember if it went beyond a season. I feel like it kind of came and went.
13 episodes.
But at Dollar Tree, I found this series about a boy which came out, again, much more recently than the movie did. I think this is 2014, so a little more recent. I heard decent things about it, but like I said, it didn't really make that much of a splash from what I remember. But anytime I can pick up a full season of television for $1.25, I'm not going to complain. And I'm quite curious about this.
1 season to go.
Oh, 1 to go.
Yeah, 33 episodes, 2 seasons.
Okay.
So 20 more episodes.
Nice.
That's not too bad. You got half of it now. So mine actually has a theme. I realized that over time, and for some reason this year I've garnered a lot of these, I have picked up a decent number, enough holiday-themed films that I can do an entire pickup based off of holidays.
Nice.
So one of them is going to be ancient, but I know I've never shown it because of how long ago I picked it up. And I wanted to stick an anime in this.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with the old one, which is Itsudate My Santa, which I picked this up back in the movie stop days, I think, or it could have been from a Right Stuff sale. That's hard to remember.
It was pretty cheap for a while there.
Yeah, I mean, I got it when it was cheap.
Yeah.
I think is it out of print now?
I think so.
So I mean, this is a pretty, I mean, I have seen this quite a few times.
Isn't it Anime Works?
It's a Funimation.
Oh, it's Funimation. Okay, never mind.
So I've seen this a number of times. Over the years. We did it as our anime anti-climax episode last season. This time we're doing an even more Christmassy series called The Gregory Horror Show, which will be a week from today. But it's by Ken Nakamatsu, I believe, of Love Hina fame. And it's about these Santas, who are these fillings for Santa, and about this guy who's also named Santa, and he's not very happy about Christmas. So our Santa here, she, or San, I think it was her. Is that right, San?
Think so.
She comes in to cheer him up. So Santas are pretty much magical girls in this, and they all work together to deliver presents to all of the people in different regions. And it's a 2-episode series. It's all right.
And inexplicably, in a 2-episode series built on a Christmas premise, the second episode's a beach episode.
Well, you've got to have a beach episode. It's a primary. But I enjoy this. It's kind of a fun one to visit. It's silly. It's not that long, but it's a fun one to go into. And they're not that many. There are really not that many anime that are fully Christmas themed. Anime movies, anime series. There are anime that have Christmas episodes.
Of course, the aforementioned Love Hina has an excellent Christmas episode. And Mezunakoku has a couple good Christmas episodes. Ranma has that OVA, which is
also really good. Yeah. Oh, there's lots of episodes. But it's rare that you have a lot of standalone stuff. And this is one of those.
Well, that's true of series generally.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got that. I mean, just generally standalone. What else is there?
Well, Marvel has Hawkeye now, which is a Christmas series. But it's rare that you have a proper Christmas series, because by definition series tend to run a little longer.
But even movies, like standalone films, like we have a ton of those here. But anime, they're not a lot. I mean, you got like the Tokyo Godfathers. And not a lot else. I've heard that the Gundam War in the Pocket is Christmas themed. And the Sailor Moon, one of the Sailor Moon movies is.
Right.
But again, I attach it more to a series, or like Love Hina. I attach that very much to the series because it does.
Well, that is an OVA sequel to the series.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool to see it. It's cool to have it. Yeah, it's worth having in a collection because it's a rare thing.
Oh yeah, and it is fun.
It is.
Ken Akamatsu is not high art, but he's fun.
Yeah. Fun.
He also did Mahara Sensei Negama, which good times there. Okay, next up, like I said, this is all from my 2 Dollar Tree stops a couple weeks back. Next up, we have a nature program narrated by Dominic Monaghan, actually,
Ooh.
which is called Creepy Crawlers Wild Things.
Woo!
Features Dominic Monaghan, like I said, from Lord of the Rings and Lost. And it says, as he comes face to face with the crawling creatures of your worst nightmares. Sounds fun.
Actually,
I mean, this really does look like it could be fun. I'm looking forward to that one.
you know, what I would like to see is that Cody Peterson, his YouTube channel. I would love to see some of that stuff broken down into physical releases, like the deadliest sting, or the stings and bites, like most painful ones. Because that's what he got famous for, was getting stung and by
Right.
like all these. I mean, I think the ones that he saw were worse was like the giant centipede
Oof.
in the Midwest, and well, he got hit by the cow killer. The bullet ant was the one he got at the
Cow
top.
killer.
He did a recent video because it's been an anniversary episode. I can't remember how many years, but it's been a while. I think 5 years. And he put his hand in a box filled with bullet ants.
Oof.
And just to prove that, look, these are not aggressive other than to protect their home or if they feel threatened. They're not likely to bite me. But you can also tell by the look on his face that he wasn't 100% certain about that. He was like, I mean, he's free-handled Black Widow. Done things that many of us are not going to likely do. But of course, you know, like if he didn't do any sudden movements, if he wasn't like threatening the Black Widow or putting pressure on it, it was not likely to bite him. But
Technically, I've handled one, but I assure you it was not on purpose.
yeah, that's the thing, is it's not one of those things that you are like going, yeah, I want to do. It's still high risk. But I'd love to see a set like that. That'd be kind of cool. So,
Good times.
this next one is one I just watched last night. With this is something Dane sold me here, which is Merry Friggin' Christmas.
I still need to see that.
And it is Robin Williams had 3 films come out of the year of his death. The last of the Smithsonian movies. A movie called Absolute something. Absolute. It has Simon Pegg, and he played the voice of a dog. Robin Williams did. That was the.
Wasn't that the year following his death?
It says 2014. That's the year he died. And then, and of course, this movie.
Wasn't Boulevard the year he died? Wasn't Boulevard the year he died?
I don't. I was only looking.
There were a few. There were a few.
I was looking at the IMDb page, and they listed 3 in 2014, and that's the year he died.
Okay.
So, you know, Merry Friggin' Christmas. It's about this basically father and son. The father was very abusive, growing up, an alcoholic, all of this, and the son had basically washed his hands of him. And he's having marital troubles, and he's doing his best to make his children have the best Christmas ever. His brother, who's a flighty dude, just adopts a kid out of nowhere and says, you're going to be the godfather, and we're going to do the baptism on Christmas Eve. He's like, so they have to stay with the father, and a lot of issues ensue. It's one of those family trouble ones. It's not the best. It's not an easy watch. Robin Williams does a spectacular job as always. Playing a person like that, somebody. There's a lot of things like with what's going through his head that time period. Probably it's not far off from how he was feeling a lot of the time, because you could tell the character was very grumpy, very miserable in a lot of ways. And when you learn more about the background that last year, he was just not doing well. So it's still, you know, it's kind of cool to see it. I have yet to see the third Night at the Smithsonian, Night at the Museum movie. And I have yet to see the other one. I do have the other one ordered, because I did find that they did do a Canadian release, not a US release of it. So I am curious about that, especially with the cast, because you got some Monty Python along in there, you got Simon Pegg. It looks like it's more than just a kids movie. It looks like a fun film. So It could. I'm curious because that's the last one. That's his last listed one on IMDb. Which, if that's going to be a swan song, I'd be curious as to what that's about.
Mm-hmm.
So, not terrible, but not the kind of thing I'd like to go out on.
Yeah.
But, you know. And it crashed and burned, too.
Apparently. So, another nature program, which is pretty cool. Oh, yeah.
Nature.
This looks kind of fun. This is a thing. Yeah, another BBC nature one. And it's called Hammerhead.
I almost got that one.
And, well, it's about hammerheads. Sharks, of course.
If it was about guppies, I'd be worried.
It's very interesting. I've always been fascinated by hammerhead sharks. I just think they're really cool looking, really weird looking, and I've just always generally been interested in sharks. Hammerheads have famously been having a rough go of it the last few decades. So I'd be curious to see what they have to say in this. And as I've said before, BBC Nature tends to do some pretty solid stuff. So I look forward to that. And again, you know, I buy that for $1.
They're very unusual looking sharks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so getting into one I got last year, and one I haven't watched this year yet, but it is worth watching, and that is Santa with Muscles. This I upgraded from the regular DVD release when I found out that this one was getting a standalone Blu-ray release. I had to. I just had to upgrade. I mean, it has a little bit of extra footage in it, so this is probably the most complete version of this. The picture looked pretty good quality-wise. Heck of a lot better than the DVD I had, which had 3 other things on it. And yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's about Santa, about this rich dude that Hulk Hogan plays, and he's kind of like, he makes his fortune on health and diet and all that stuff, and he acts like a total asshole. He ends up losing his memory, and when he's hiding from the police, pretending to be Santa Claus. So he ends up going to this orphanage and residing there for a while, and ends up being its protector because he thinks he's Santa Claus, and he has to protect against this weird group of villains. It's very cheesy. It's not all that good, but there's something about it that, like any of these bad movies, is special.
Well, it does have a great title.
I have wanted to get this as on Inside Movies Galore for a while. I put it up a lot, and it's always been voted down, and I will do it again next year. I will vote it in again next year.
I was planning to watch my copy this season. I don't know how many films I will get to.
Did you get this version, or did you get a...
Yeah, I got that one.
It's kind of funny also to have this on Blu-ray.
I know. It's just, like you said, it's special.
Did it have any special features? Let's see here. I don't think so. No. Nope.
Well, speaking of getting things on Blu-ray, I was a little disappointed when he told me about that Dollar Tree had restocked. And he told me specifically they got a lot of Woody Allen. But I didn't pry, and I was a little disappointed. Not surprised at all, but a little disappointed to get there and find out that it was all DVD.
Well,
and that I already owned the 2 best ones that were there. I mean, Purple Rose of Cairo is a classic, and Zelig is a classic, and I already have both of those on DVD.
Now, if you don't have Zelig...
Yes, if you don't, check out your local Dollar Tree. There were 2 that I'm mostly sure I don't have. I honestly am not 100%. At $1, I was willing to take the gamble. Yeah. Even though one of them is one of Woody Allen's worst films.
Yeah.
I do not particularly care for this one, but it's called Another Woman.
Slight downer.
It's a slight downer. When Woody Allen goes dark, he goes dark.
Not as dark as Cassandra's Dream.
Well, that's Woody Allen.
Yeah,
but Cassandra's Dream is one of the bleakest, blackest, darkest films on a planet. Although it's good. It is very good. This one, not as much. This one does feature Gene Hackman, Blythe Danner, Mia Farrow, John Houseman, Jenna Rollins, David Ogden Stiers. I mean, it's got a good, solid cast. Most of his films do. As we've said before, we know that there is a great deal of controversy about Mr. Allen. Much of it stirred violently by Mia Farrow. Their split was less than amicable, to put it mildly.
Yeah.
Whatever you think of him, he is a very skilled director, and his films have a strong Woody Allen-ness. Like he has a very distinct voice as a director that can be a barrier to entry for some. But like I said, I thought this film was a little dark. It was one of his weaker efforts, but again, I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, there are a few of them. That certain time periods, he was hit or miss, but he produces so much. Mm-hmm. He slowed down because of the controversy. But
this one was 88. The late 80s were generally a weak time, but he had a couple good ones in.
Because he was putting out a film a year for the longest time until the recent controversy. Mm-hmm. Right now I've got all his films but one, which hasn't got a physical that I know of yet, which I'm hoping to see. I think I still have not seen one of the films. Was it Cafe Society? Maybe that one.
I have yet to see Rainy Day in New York.
I've seen that one.
I think there's maybe one other one. Huh.
Let's see here. Alright, one we covered last year for Inside Movies Galore was Trading Places.
Alright.
And I can tell you right now, there's a reason why I got this. It was because of Inside Movies Galore. I got the cheapo version. I did not like this film the first time I saw it, and I didn't really care as much for it the second time I saw it. But it's still got a good cast, and it's still a movie I feel is good to have in the collection. So having it in the cheapo DVD is fine by me. It's still got a decent number of special features. I mean, quite a few of them actually.
Although that re-release that came out last year did look pretty cool, and if you do like the film, it's a good one to shoot for.
But essentially, you've got Dan Aykroyd's character, he's raised basically by the elites to be an elite, and he's a day trader, and he's got a gifted mind for it. And you've got I was about to say Woody Allen. That'd been an interesting movie there, especially if he was playing Eddie Murphy's role. I
wonder if anyone were ever to seriously, like on the Oscar stage or whatever, were to seriously confuse Eddie Murphy with Woody Allen. I wonder which one of them would be more offended, or if they even would be. Both of them, they might be horribly offended. But I could almost see them going, that's hilarious.
I was saying, they both have senses of humor that could go in a way that they could look at it like, oh yeah, that's funny. So Eddie Murphy essentially is kind of the streetwise individual who is kind of a grifter. Also very gifted intelligence-wise. So the two older holders of the firm are like, we're going to make a bet and see. We're going to have our person who's our peak performer lose everything, and our person who is a streetwise person gain everything. And we're going to see whether it's breeding, nature versus nurture, essentially. And it goes deeper than that. And
the douchebags do the whole thing for $1.
Yeah, it is a... I have a harder time with it because I feel like it's like a lot of low blows, and I don't like watching that all the time. So it's still fairly well done, good enough. Should be if you haven't seen it, you should try it.
It is a good commentary on the shallowness and selfishness of the elite.
True enough. Yeah. True enough. And they get them back at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway,
that whole gorilla thing.
My last one of the priors is the one that's the most likely a duplicate, but I really don't think it is. It's a Woody Allen film from the early 80s, which I did quite enjoy. Actually, no. Just a couple of years earlier than the other one.
Ah, yes.
Which I did quite enjoy. I know he enjoyed it more than I did, but
I
it's
loved
still
it.
a good one. And that is another Mia Farrow star called Radio Days, which also stars Julie Kavner, who would go on to be famous as Marge Simpson. And you got a few other folks in there, too. This is basically... Woody Allen does a few films which could be considered a love letter to an era. And this one kind of is a love letter to the radio days of the 40s. And it's a good film, and I liked it. And like I said, I don't think I had it already, but it was worth picking up just in case.
It's a great film. I really like it. It is a nostalgia piece. It really is. You can tell that Woody Allen was really waxing nostalgic for that. There's a lot of waxing nostalgic in Woody Allen films as time goes on, but that one in particular.
I have to admit that some of his best works are really, really, really nostalgia-heavy films. Like Purple Rose of Cairo was another one. Manhattan, well, that was one of his highest-rated ones. It was never one of my favorites.
No, but
I do love, and probably the most commercially successful one that he had over the last 20-odd years. I do love Midnight in Paris.
Oh, yeah.
And my favorite one, very probably my favorite one, is the one that's a straight-up love letter to the jazz era, which is Sweet and Low Down. That one, if that had been on Blu-ray for $1, I would have snapped that up in a heartbeat. But I already have the DVD, so...
My hope is that with that Blu-ray set, that others will follow.
Yeah. That's a cool little set.
It is. It's not the best movie gathering, but it is still pretty... I mean, it's still cool to have them. And if any Blu-ray set that they have, I will gladly upgrade so that I can get some of these on Blu-ray because they should be. Blu-ray lasts longer. It needs to be preserved, and he's not all that great on preserving his films.
You're going to get all Woody Allen converted to Blu-ray, and then Criterion will do the Woody Allen set.
Well... That's my contribution. It'll encourage them to do it. And then I'll convert again.
Cool.
See, that's what they're waiting. They're waiting on him to say I'm retiring.
Right.
And then once he's retired, then they'll do the whole thing.
Okay.
It'll never happen, but...
All right.
So, my next one is a very controversial one. Controversial one. Which is a film with Dee Wallace called Red Christmas.
Ooh.
This is one I think we talked about a little while back. We talked about it when we were doing our discussion about what we've watched in November. And because this is one of the first ones I watched for Christmas. And I talked about it more at length there. But let's just say it's a horror movie about abortion. Where the aborted baby comes back to kill the mother and the family. And it can be looked at two ways. According to the director, it's supposed to be looked as an anti-abortion piece to people who are pro-choice. And it's supposed to be looked at as a pro-life piece to people who are... Sorry, not pro-life. A pro-choice piece to people who are pro-life. So if you're anti-abortion, you'll hate it, and if you're pro-abortion, you'll hate it. So, still not quite sure. But, it has a lot of fun stuff to it overall. It's not terrible by any means as far as the horror aspect goes. I'm willing to give it a couple more tries. If you want more, you should check it out, but I wanted to make sure I gave a little bit of a summary because that's a long video, and not all of you are going to watch that video. So...
You should.
You should, but yes. Still not a bad overall presentation. I'm glad to have got it.
Yep.
Let's see if there's anything on here about it. Director interviews. I think that's where I got that from. But it's still fun right there.
All right.
So, I guess we start here on giving.
Sounds good.
I've got 4 gifts to give. And I feel like they get steadily better as it goes.
Okay.
So I think lowest quality first.
All right. We will see.
So show it to the camera. That was a beautiful wrapping job I did. You see?
Yes.
It's got like penguins and stuff on it.
Penguins? I don't see. Oh, there's a penguin.
Yep, penguins, Santas,
Yay.
reindeer, all that stuff. I didn't skimp out on the wrapping paper. I wrapped that bad boy myself. I can't. There's no way I can top myself off on the one that I did the best. I think the best I did was Volume 8 of Maison Ikoku.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I don't think I'll ever top that.
I wouldn't. I didn't even expect you to do that. Okay, Off Campus.
That's the one I didn't know whether you had or not.
I actually do not.
But I know that you had a portion of X Strikes catalog, and that's the one that people tend to ignore. It's not the entire series, but it's some of the series. The rest of it's on YouTube, but that's about all of it that's on physical media.
They ought to get their butts in gear and do all of it.
But it's a decent enough one about these guys who kind of live in campus housing, even though they're not going to college. It is funny. We have to do that one time. We got to come back to our X Strike drive one time and finish it off.
Good times.
All right. I still got a couple more left on this.
Okay. Yeah, let me know when you're.
It'll be at the end.
Okay.
So, I've got here Jack Frost. This is actually replacing my DVD copy. Somebody had this up for sale for a very low price. And Vinegar Syndrome puts out some good releases. Okay. Even if it's not like the fancy release with the lenticular cover, it's still quite an upgrade. They've re-released this again. MV something. The one that did Little Monsters and a couple others has released both of these films. I have ordered the second film through that so that I have upgraded that, because that's another one that I have on a movie collection.
Right.
But this one essentially is about, not to be confused with the other Jack Frost.
Hey, Pooh.
Which is hard to confuse it with that cover. You have this killer whose name is Jack Frost, who's been put away by this cop, and he's being taken to execution, and he ends up falling into this vat of chemicals that fuses him with the snow, making him become a killer snowman, seeking revenge against the cop that put him away.
Obviously.
And it is what you would think it would be. I mean, it's cheesy, it's silly, and it falls very much in line with the wisecracking killers of the 80s. Glad that they kept the Vinegar Syndrome did keep this in print. It is still in print with them, which is weird that it's going in print with another company as well on Blu-ray. But I'm fine with it. All films deserve to be in print. And this is actually a classic that should stay in print.
We covered that on Movies Galore, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Well, I know you want attention. You want attention, Phoebe. I know.
Let me have a look at that. It does have... That does have some pretty decent features on there, doesn't it?
He's like all over.
Good times.
Yes, it's a pretty decent release there. So,
all right.
Gift number 2 as we go up.
Yay!
In the
this has a nice shiny package.
Yes, shiny.
Very shiny.
Okay. No, you're not laying on the mouse, Phoebe.
It's red and shiny, but it's not a balloon.
Come here. You want to pose for the camera?
But do they float? Hey, Pooh. Okay. Okay, what do we got here?
There you go.
Blood dolls and shrunken heads.
Got your full... Well, Mo thought that you would like those.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, fine. Like Shrunken Heads is about like a bunch of like severed heads that decide to become superheroes.
Okay.
And Blood Dolls, well, I'm not sure. Mo just recommended them.
Well, Mo has spent the past year recommending the hell out of Full Moon, and I sadly have only seen a handful of the Evil Bong movies, so
So now you have a couple.
Now I have a couple, so Mo, I'll try to give these a look sometime in the new year. We'll see what happens.
Well, my second to last of my actual pickups is Hell on the Shelf, one of the newer Polonia films, a 2021 film. I didn't even we need to keep watching those 2021 films. Well, guess what? I did. Essentially, it's about a possessed doll. SRS, by the way, SRS Entertainment sells it. Polonia Brothers are known for their shot on video and low budget. This could be up for the low budget category. It's about these investigators who investigate this house people died in, and these two kids, they died fighting over this doll, or one of them did. And anyone who touches the doll supposedly is cursed to be possessed or die. And it's alright. I mean, it drags in pieces, but you know, I got a soft spot for Polonias. They're hit or miss for me, but this was okay. I need another watch of it, but maybe next year I'll watch it again.
Guess I'll have to see it, huh?
Well, I mean, you might not, because it might not get enough to get fully nominated.
Yeah.
Depends on how many people we have. Like, if it's just a handful of us like last time, this probably will. But I can't guarantee it.
Right.
So we'll see. Who knows? Maybe Dave will also be like, Hell on the Shelf, yeah.
Cool.
Or Kyle, if he does nominations, he could nominate this.
Good time.
Because he's seen it. It's on his pickup. By the way, Movie Buff 1, he did his pickups today. Well, Monday the 20th? Is that right? Yeah, he did his pickups today. So, you know, if you like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
He picked one of those up too.
Cool. All right.
Oh, yeah. So, this is the one on the cover there. This is one that I'm sure he knows what it is. I wrapped it because I figured the way it was wrapped, I specifically wrapped it like that because of what it is.
Okay.
Can you guess?
Probably.
Well,
but it's not coming to mind.
Well, when you open it, I'm sure you will.
Oh yeah, when I see it, I can guess what it is.
Well, yes. Be sure to put it up there so they can see you opening it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I will get one low-budget film watched for 2021.
You gotta have the complete collection.
Yeah, I know. You got it. With a quality like this. Quality like this demands completion.
Oh, I wrapped that good.
You did. Okay, so we have the new Magnum Opus from Evan Jacobs.
Oh, yeah.
Which is called Death Toilet Part 4, Brown Snakes on a Plane. Which I will admit, I do like the cover on this. It's pretty fun.
It's going to be up for... it is going to be up for best art.
Probably.
I can't guarantee it'll win, but I love that cover. It is just hilarious.
I'll give it a go.
Hey, it can't be any worse than the third one.
Right.
Did you watch the first two?
I watched all three of them.
Whew. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
my last of my regular pickups.
Okay.
Okay. So this is one I talked with a group about. This is cheaper than the Dollar Tree pickups because for 97 cents at SRS,
Nice.
I picked up American Santa on the sale. It is a 9-minute short. So I love the premise. I'm hoping that it gets that this premise goes on to be a feature film. It says most fucked up Christmas experience you've ever had. So essentially, Santa has hoodwinked the elves into making them make toys for him so he can sell them for big business.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up making like a huge corporation called Santa Corp or whatever. And this is all background that's fed to you before you even get into it.
Ah.
And but every 200 years, Santa has to die, and a new one has to take his place. And
so it's a 9-minute short and 3 minutes our exposition.
yeah, well, 1 minute is exposition. And then to do so, you have to have a Santa death match. And the Santa death match determines who's going to take over
Nice.
as the new head of the corporation. So these Santas go there with Mrs. Claus to go on that death match, and they have to fight it out to see who's going to be the real Santa Claus. It's worth 97 cents on that sale. I'm sure it can be viewed on YouTube. It's highly amusing. Not all that great, but highly amusing. I don't
Did
even
you
know.
say that was also 2021?
No, this one is not.
Okay.
So no worries. It's not going to be making an appearance. Probably would be up for Best Short, but no, not going to make an appearance this year. All right.
Okay, time for me to give a gift.
All right.
And it's nice and wrapped all purty.
Is it a picture of Brian Boitano?
Well, wouldn't you like to know what he'd do? Oh.
Paper. I like the wrapping paper.
Right.
It is a one-piece flag. It's got Luffy and all of his friends there, which I will put in a nice place in a drawer, never to see it again. Oh, of course. Of course. Let's see, can you... There we go.
There you go.
End joke. Now, I will have to hang this because of the end joke, but I can actually, because it's a tasteful art piece.
It is.
I can actually take it and hang it upstairs where the regular art is instead of down here where the movie art is. For people to ask me, why do you have a picture of a cow up? Same
And I'm
reason
sure
I have
the
a
wife
cow
will
book.
be the first one to do it.
Yeah. She will. This is actually, I like this one too. It's kind of cool. Is it a bag?
I thought it was a flag, but it's actually a pillowcase.
Cover, yeah.
Yeah. So if you have like a little
Like a throw pillow or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah, I'll put like that up in there. It's kind of, I do think the artwork is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a big One Piece fan, as people know, but it's not a terrible series, and I actually will get back to watching it.
And I believe that's a Halloween themed one, so they actually all look a little different than usual, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see, there's Brooke in there.
Oh, he better be it.
Because it's Halloween themed. He should be.
Exactly.
Let's see here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't miss him.
Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah, that is kind of cool. Maybe I can hang this during Halloween as a thing in the background for one of our spooky, scary Halloweens next year.
All right, and I guess I'm just going to... That was obviously sort of the gag gift.
Hey, I would have accepted that.
Right, but there's also this to go with it.
Oh, okay. Now that I can definitely get some anime or animu with that.
Get some anime, yeah.
So that will be good. Well, thank you very much.
Welcome.
And I'm going to be giving you something.
Woo.
Now this one is the least. Those are kind of gaggish because they're kind of cheapo.
And I might be gagging.
I mean, Brown Snakes on a Plane, I try to spread the love of Evan Jacobs. So I've given that to a couple of people, bought a couple of copies. I want to make sure I spread the love. This, however, this is the more real gift, as you could say.
Okay. Well, it's also very shiny.
Very shiny.
One would expect.
One you could also possibly guess what it is.
I have a theory. We shall see if the theory is correct.
I mean, he already knows what I'm getting him for his birthday, so...
Well, yeah. The theory was correct.
Well,
All right.
now you can take it back if it's no good.
No, I will take this. So, Magia record.
Okay, I did not do that.
No, you didn't. The eggnog did it. We'll blame the eggnog. So
And
we
then
have-
damage too bad. Little dent, but that's all right.
Well, Magia record. Puella Magi Madoka Magica spin-off.
Yep.
Which, they have the weirdest ass history with this franchise. I don't think... This one, I think, is an anime original series, even though they've done several side manga.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, no, this was based off the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the game.
Yeah, like I said, it's complex.
I get to watch my copy.
Puella is a classic series. I have read most of the side manga. I have not played the Magia record game, but I am looking forward to this. So,
Yeah.
very cool. And
I plan on having us visit it for Inside Movies Galore for my birthday this year.
Doing what?
Well, I'm going to have us visit that for my birthday this year, doing the first two movies, which
That
cover
sounds like
the
a-
original series.
That sounds like a good plan.
So it'll be kind of fun.
Okay.
Not as good as covering the whole series, but I'm not going to force people to do that. That'd be kind of... That'd also go against the Inside Movies Galore stuff.
But that series will eventually come up on our channel.
Maybe. It has to be. It had to be voted in, but yeah.
I think there's a good chance that it will eventually be voted in.
Yeah, well, that's a hope.
Yep. And I am pleased with what appears to be January's selection, so
Oh yeah.
looks good.
That is. I think that they did a pretty good job with it. It came down to two,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both ones I wanted to see. So
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, yes, the one that I've had for years sitting there gathering dust, getting to see that finally. Is
And what's more,
won
my
over.
copy is used. And Zombieland Saga, I literally, I presented it here,
Yeah,
I think 3 weeks ago.
I can wait a little while on that. So you guys will find that out. If you check out our discussion on Gregory Horror Show, we're going to tell you at the end what won out.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you've enjoyed this pickup.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I wish to all of you a happy holidays, or whatever ones you
Yes.
you
A Merry
subscribe to.
Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Winter Solstice,
Happy Cow Day.
Yes, Happy National. Well, actually, what day is National Cow Tipping Day? I'm sure there is one.
I don't know, but
There should be.
we had at least a couple of those actually. So every day is National Cow Tipping Day. But we,
Yes.
of course, will see you all on the next one. We got one more week with this tree here, and that tree's... Actually, no. Yeah, one more week with the tree. Because I don't take it down until after New Year, so
Okay.
after.
Okay.